We're live with Max. Morning, Max. How are you? Are you happy with the world? Okay, some quick scratches. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oops. Yeah, I went after your new feather. I know. Hello, Tango, Marco, Connie. Hello, everybody. Yeah. Hey, you want me to go get your Beakest? I can go get your Beakest. Might be cooked now. Yeah. We've got some eggies coming, don't we, Max? You want some eggies? Eggies? Yes, I think eggies will be good. Oh, come on. Oh, boy. Well, they're cooked this time. That's good news, Max. Bad news. I misplaced my fork. I know, buddy. You must be hungry. You hungry? Oh, let's see. Oh, those are still a little warm. Let's let them cool off for a minute. Can you help blow on them? Yeah? Those are still pretty warm. You know, because you can't hurt yourself with eggies. That's not allowed, buddy. You got to wait until they cool down just a little bit. I know, I've just got one fork full, but they're hot. Of course, Max has his own ideas. Hi, Miss Linus, Doris, Erin, Sue. Hi. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, we got to give those eggs another minute, bud. I think waiting for things to cool is the worst part about cooking, isn't it, Max? But the thing is, we don't want you to burn your crop, and I already know what happens if I give you eggs. You're going to eat them. You're going to gobble them like you haven't seen food ever before in your life. Okay, those are looking a little bit better. I know, you could have starved. Would have been terrible. Yes, Tico, I hear you. I'll get to you some in a minute. So honestly, I think Max knows it's Saturday morning and just chooses not to eat until he gets his morning eggies. Hi, Chris. Hi, Greenbird. Hi, hey, Katie. Aaron, Doris, we've got everybody joining us. Well, this fork's empty. Shall I go put something on it? Yeah, that was the look. I know that looked well. I know that looked really well. What do you think, Max? Let's try these. I know, Tico. It smells so hot. Don't know if anybody heard, but Tico's ringing his bell now. He's getting quite insistent about Beakest. Is it your turn, buddy? Is it your turn for eggs? Let's see what we got here. You think so? So I have some eggs right here. Tico, if you'd snatched those any harder, you would have fallen off the perch. Okay. Is that good? Poor Max, so hungry. You're going to pretend that there wasn't corn and carrot and peas and what else did you have in your bowl this morning? You had some grapes and apple. I know, it must have been empty. You must not have had any formula food. You must not have had any crunchies or any seeds. You must not have been fed since last Saturday. Oh, I know. That's just terrible. Could be starving here. Once more? It's really nothing quite as joyful as watching Max eat his eggs in the morning. And we get some usually once a week, and he has to share an egg with Tico. And these are cooked. All I do with them is I crack them and I just use, I'm gonna lift this up. This one's just a microwave egg container that flips over. It's meant for an omelet. I just crack one egg. I give it a quick stir so that I don't have the yolk exploding. And then I pop in the microwave for 60 seconds or so, sometimes more, sometimes less. Microwave's been a little bit temperamental. And as soon as it's solid, I let it cool, and then the flock can have some eggies. It's as simple as that. Yeah, right, Max. Oh no, those are so good. It's foot looking good. So then Max is just helping me clean up little bits of egg that are left. He's always quite willing to lick the fork. There you go. All right, that's all the eggies that we got today. Is that good? Can't talk, licking my foot. imitating a finger. Oh, I know. Hey. Apple? See, Max isn't really hungry. He's looking specifically for eggs. Okay. No apple. He's a little kid who suggests that really, really hungry because there's dessert. But when offered some more vegetables, turns his beak up. Yeah, but you had lots of eggs, buddy. Lots of eggs. Okay, I'm just going to pull up my secondary device so I can see what is happening on the stream. What do you think? What is a cockatoo to do? I know. Poor buddy. Max, I've got another idea. Hang on a minute. Would you like a piece of pasta? That was a definite yes. I really like offering the skinny pieces of spaghetti because it takes a long time for him to get through it, gives him something to hold, and it takes him a little bit of while. Now, Tango, raining where you are? Our weather's a little bit chilly, so it's too cold to be going outside right now. It was about 6 degrees last time I checked, which, well, not terrible. It could be far, far better. Yeah, Max is definitely complaining about the service. He thinks there should be more eggs on the plate. The quantity's wrong. There's no more eggs. How horrible. Connie said she's watching Max on the big screen behind her PC, and she's got a big TV monitor as a screen. That's a great idea. Okay. Yeah, there's always lots going on the channel. Poor Remy. Remy hears me talking about treats and thinks that they should get one themselves. Although that sometimes happens. You know, Tico will be watching Einstein and Marsha will be talking about treats, and Tico's looking at me going, hello, I heard somebody say the T word. Oh boy. Yeah. And of course, Tango says that their mom is doing a listen to ABBA's new album. You know, it's quite amazing how many older acts have new albums out. I was listening to Q on CBC, basically a pop culture radio show, and they were talking about Duran Duran releasing their first album in 40 years. I want to know is how is that possible? Their last album was released, I'm sure it was just yesterday in 1980 something. You know, time really, really flies when you blink. It really is amazing. It's those weird things that make you feel a little bit older, I think. Chris. Hope you're feeling better soon. Yeah, so let's, since Max is going to be quiet for a little bit, he might be able to help me talk about what is going on. So as everybody knows, next weekend is an event in Calgary that is called Parrot Palooza. This is an event being put on by the Calgary Parrot Club. It was delayed earlier this year because we had quite some rising COVID numbers, so it was delayed for safety. But it looks like it's a go for next Saturday. So next Saturday, what's going to happen is Max is not going to be here for his regular live stream. We're going to be at Parrot Palooza. We might be able to toss up some video from Parrot Palooza. More likely we'll be putting up some video after the fact. So next Saturday, there won't be a regular live stream, but there may be some updates on the socials. So Max is going to go make a lot of friends. He's probably going to be upset with me because it's not going to be quite like a regular meetup. But Max does like to get out and he does like to keep busy. So it'll probably be good for him, but it's going to be a very long day for Max. So we'll go, we'll see how everything goes, and we'll see how late we're going to stay. If Max gets really, really moody at 2 o'clock, we might call it an early day. But more to the point, I think what will probably happen is he'll just be excited about the whole day. And when we get home, he's probably going to sleep like he has been out and active. Yeah, Max. But for Parrot Palooza, we've got some really, really special merchandise. And I thought I'd show some of that today. And it really helps if I've actually got it over here where the computer is, or where the camera is. So the first thing I wanted to talk about are, oops, that's going to fall apart on me, is it? Our pins. We had some pins, but we've added a few new designs. Are you going to show off, Max, with your pins? All right, we're going to take a look at that, and I'm going to bring that one in for a bit of a close-up. So we've got a couple of new pins at the top there. Sorry, the light's not really doing them a lot of favors right now, but we've got our birdnest pins, which are featuring Tico in a wreath and Max in a wreath. They are facing each other. We've got a couple of other new pins as well. We have T-Cal the Amazon right here. And we've got a new angle on Max, just showing off his really, really wonderful crest. And then, of course, we've got the other three designs. We've got Tico the Gray, we've got Fluff and Chops Up, and we've got a side view of Max. So we now have quite a few pins available and some brand new designs. Oh, thank you, Connie. Connie says she loves them all, loves the Etsy store with all the goodies. These are available on Etsy, and we are striving to make the pins really, really affordable. So I'm just going to put down the block, and we've got a bit of new packaging for our pins as well. It took a little bit of time to get everything packaged up as we wanted, but right there you can see one of our pins, Tico, on a card. They are rubber clutch backing. And of course, if you don't like the rubber clutch, you can use any pin backing with these. You can use them as a bulletin board. You can use them. I know one person has commented she picked up a few to use as counters when she's knitting or crocheting. I found that really cool. Some people wear them as pins, but they really, really are quite lovely. And in addition to the pins, and wait, there's more. We also brought out a few new magnets. So we have T-Cal as a magnet. And that is just a standard fridge magnet. We have our new Max design. Just that beautiful, beautiful crust. What do you think, buddy? I know, and those colors really are true to form for Max. These rediscovered magnets are edible or not edible. And then we have our birdmas designs with Tico and Max in the wreath. And once again, really, really nice. These are die cut. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a feature on here. I'm just going to see, where's the camera? If I come up close and you look closely, you notice right here, Max the Moluccan. And that one says Tico the Gray. So we've got their names worked in on the leash there as well. On the leash, on the wreath. We're not going anywhere. And packaging for these. That's right. We've got these ones looking quite professional, don't we, Max? On a Max card, and they're protected. And it just made sense to do some proper packaging if we're going to be at an event, especially with concerns around COVID. You want to minimize touch points as much as possible. Of course, we've got the other magnet designs as well. I'm not going to go through them all. But the other thing I wanted to show off are the birdmas cards. Oh my goodness, Tango says, Max, buy yourself some magnets and talk to yourself. So we've got a couple of birdmas cards available. And these are also really quite cool. And these are intended, you can buy them singly or in a package. Ho ho holidays. I just want to show you something. Just listen. Really nice quality cardstock. These things are not going to fall apart very easily. Inside, Merry Birdmas. After this one, we've got the flock name. And this one features both of them in Ho Ho Holidays. So just a really nice, cool greeting. And I mean, who wouldn't love a bird card? And we also have wishing you a Merry Birdmas. And that's a picture we actually took a couple of years ago during an outing. Max found this lovely Christmas tree and posed in front of it. And then inside, happy holidays, wishing you joy and peace this holiday season and the year ahead. And this one, I just want to show you if you can see that this has got some really cool shading on it. But these are really, really nice cards. They're going to be available at Palooza as well as on our website. So that's the big bunch of new stuff that we've got available. A bunch of Max merch. So I know not everybody is going to be able to come to Parrot Palooza. It's a bit of a commute, but we do have everything available on the Etsy site. Etsy site should be linked in the description of the video, so you can go see that later. I think I also put up a community post about it. So we've got some really cool stuff. And one thing we've been doing with merch is we know a lot of people live in different locations. We don't just have everybody in Calgary. We have people in the States, in the Netherlands, in France, in the UK. And the whole idea behind merch was to find something that would be easy to send and something that would be affordable. So definitely something kind of cool. So really quite happy with that. Pins are something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. Fridge magnets, I mean, these are things that everybody can use. They're bright, they're happy, and really they're stocking stuffers. They really are. So we'll probably have a lot of movement, I think, at Parrot Palooza on some of the merchandise. So I've got everything packaged up. You're standing kind of cross-legged there, buddy. I'm just gonna come around here for a minute. So yeah, that's round and it's not really built for you to stand on, is it? Yeah, you're being laughed at, Max. I'm sorry. Let's set that up. Yeah, so everything, all of the magnets, pins, and whatnot on Etsy, I've got different pricing set up for Canada and the States, just slightly different. And the pricing for Canada and the States includes shipping. Internationally, shipping is calculated a little bit differently just because the costs and the rules and everything else are different for different areas. But we definitely are trying to make sure that we've got that affordable way of getting things out. We've already had a couple of orders of our new designs and we're super, super excited about that. I know some of the flockers here have ordered merchandise in the past, and some of them are waiting for merchandise to come that have just come in a couple of orders the last couple of days. Super, super exciting. But we'll get everything packaged with care and off well in time for Birdmas. Yeah, Connie did order one of the magnets of Max yesterday. So Connie, you're actually our first international order. 3 cheers for that. Yeah. No, it is kind of fun just to have some stuff that we can send out, some stuff we can use for giveaways, and some cool designs. Idea behind that is I'm hoping over time to be releasing new designs and retiring some of the older designs. So they are going to be some limited edition. I did order a few extra of the Tico magnets just because, Tico magnets and Tico pins, just because that one's such a classic design. And I'd ordered a lot more of Max and Tico to begin with. But these are still relatively limited. Yeah. No, it is really, really exciting to have some of the merchandise and just have that ability to pop it off and have it head out fairly easily. Now, there might be something else coming up on the store. You never know, you gotta check. But now, you did notice that we brought out a TCAL design. And you're probably wondering why we didn't have a TCAL design before. That's because a dear friend of ours, Coconut the Amazon, commented that they were really disappointed. They're a huge TCAL fan. How come there's never any Amazon merch? Okay, we can accommodate that. Where do you think you're going? Climb up. I know, so helpful when I say climb up. You're stuck. Are you thirsty? Would you like some water? I got a cup here. Oh, hang on. Just gonna rinse out the cup. So it's a good thing I'm rinsing out the cup. I was refilling some bottles of soap in the bathroom the other day, and I'd set the pumps in the cup, and I did have some soap in the bottom of the cup, and I don't think that would be a nice surprise for Max. I'm just going to let the water run for a minute. Surprise! What do you think? Okay, Max does not want anything to drink. Of course not. You're a goose, buddy. You're such a goose today. Yeah, I don't know if you're noticing, but it is molting season. We've got some brand new feathers coming in. Oh, look at those beautiful colors. Yeah, time to grow the winter feathers. Oh, so pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm just going to take care of that big one there. Oh, there. Another one there I want. Okay, I can go after that one. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fall? So the problem is when I find a big feather, I want to go after it, especially when it's got that lovely, lovely crunchy feather sheath on it. It always reminds me of the aglet on a shoelace, you know, the hard plastic bit on the end of a shoelace. Birds ever see one of those, they tend to preen them off very helpfully for you. Oh, I know. Well, that one's almost broken up now. Yeah. But when the feathers come in the sheets, it's so that they can easily pass through the skin. You know, a little bit more complex than just a regular hair. And usually what happens when a bird preens another bird is they help break up those feather sheets. And there's a trick to it. If you break it up too soon, there's a little bit of sheath just that I just pulled on my finger. See if I can get that into focus before it lands on the ground. But another bird would just come along and they don't pull it off, they crunch at it. And they just sort of break it up and it disintegrates off. When they preen themselves, they can also do that. But some of these ones, when they're on the head and face, like there's one right there, are a little bit harder for the bird to get at. There's one right there. Let's see if I can get that into a focus. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. You want to inspect. But Max, of course, when he has new feathers coming in, it's a case where he says, scratch me, but don't touch me. It's like, scratch you, but don't touch you. How does that work? How can I scratch you and not touch you at the same time? I know, Max. Look at you. Yeah, but that's why you sort of see a few pokey things sticking out of the feathers, but some of them are not quite ready to be preened off yet. So he's got that look of a porcupine. And some of them are a little bit more ready to come off. Yes, I have accidentally pulled off a feather sheath and all before from the flock. Usually what happens is I've gotten a grip. It's not quite coming apart the way I'm expecting it to, and the bird jumps because I hit a nerve, and then I end up with the feather coming flying off, and the bird's quite grumpy with me. Now, I mean, if the bird reached out and grabbed a handful of my hair, I'd be grumpy with the bird. Can I get that one right there on top? Oh, I know, but I see it. There, that's the one I wanted. Thank you, Max. Turn around. Turn around. Can you turn? Can you turn? I know. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. So Max, I was looking at that toenail and thinking it might need a little bit of a nibble. I've been wanting to go after this nail a little bit more recently. Just hang on, I'm upside down. Let me try that again. There you go. I just got this one. Yeah. A couple little bits of nail. That one there, huh? Can I get this one too? Just a little nibble? So when I go after your toenails, I don't cut off a lot at once. I just go after just a little bit because I don't necessarily clip the nails as regularly as I could. Usually I notice that they've really become overgrown and then it's like, yeah, now it's time to clip. But I don't clip everything at once. I don't go all the way, because what happens inside of a toenail, Tango will be familiar with this idea, just like a dog's toenail, there's a quick inside, and the quick contains blood supply in a blood vessel and nerves. Anytime there's blood, there are nerves. And if you trim too much or too far, you could hit that and you could have a bleeder, and the bird or dog is going to be very upset with you. And what happens when you trim the end, that quick tends to recede a bit more into the nail. So on a short nail, it has a short quick. On a longer nail, it could have a longer quick. So trimming too much can be problematic. So I just nibble at it a little bit and I chase it up. Max has gotten really good about grooming his own beak on blocks. something he never used to be very good at. Yeah, he's seen Dr. Dremel a few times where we've had to take him to the vet for some beak shaping. But usually it's something where you try and encourage the flock to take care of their own beaks and their own feet. I mean, Tico's pretty good about his claws. Max tends to let his overgrow a little bit. And definitely I wanted to make sure that we're not too long for Parrotpalooza, because I will never hear the end of it if I go in with long claws there. But he's really good about letting me trim those claws too. He's not too bothered. He supervises to say, what do you think you're doing? But he knows I'm not going to hurt him, and he's pretty gentle about it. So I wanted to talk about TCal for a little bit. As you know, TCal's headed home again, and that was a few weeks ago. And when TCal came here, he stayed for about a month. His beak, older bird, TCal's well in his 40s, and for an Amazon, that's getting up there in age. And TCal's beak looked pretty misshapen. It was a little bit fat. It was a little bit long. It was sort of that weird shape. And I'm not going to take TCal to go get his beak shaped because, you know, that's not my role, but I did give him some blocks to chew on, and Mr. TCal, in the course of a month, given the right blocks to chew on and the encouragement of watching Max and Tico chew, decided that he was going to go on a block extravaganza, and he chewed enough blocks down that he groomed his beak down so it looked really, really good. So I was quite proud of the little guy. So usually what happens with TCal is when TCal gets home, he doesn't act quite the same way as when he acts here. His favorite treat when he's here might be, I don't know, corn on the cob, and he goes home and looks at it and says, "This is evil. I've never eaten this or seen it before in my life." So TCal can be a little bit of a brat that way. But this time when he's gone home, he has been chewing on some of the wood I sent home. So that's a wonderful thing. But when TCal's here, TCal and Tico share the play stand. And TCal's been quite enjoying it. And I noticed there was one up for auction on Calgary Parrot Club fundraising auction, and I mentioned that to TCal's owners, and they didn't win the auction. But they were a little bit disappointed because they had sort of set their mind that maybe it was time to upgrade TCal's play stand rather than just have a loop stand, have something that TCal could climb all over on. Like a loop stand's great if you're just pooping on it, like Max just did, or just hanging out and eating and interacting with Newman. But if you're playing on it yourself, you probably want something that looks a bit more like a kid's playground. So I noticed, I know Sandy over at Parrot Trends, so I just sent her a quick message and I said, "Hey, can you source something like this from your suppliers? I don't see it on your website." And, a few minutes later, Sandy got back to me and said, "Absolutely, here's a price. This is what's available." So I passed it on to TCal Zoomins, and they picked that up from Sandy. Now, Sandy at Parrot Trends, she gives over and above service, just incredible service. She dropped it off. She did delivery for free. She stopped and visited with TCal for a few minutes. I mean, just over and over above. It was super, super cool. But TCal Zoomins put together the play stand. And of course, with TCal, you never know what's going to happen. Is TCal going to look and say that thing's evil? I'm never going to stand on it ever, ever, ever in my life. Ooh, grapes. Maybe I'll stand here for a few minutes. Or is TCal, you don't know with TCal. He can be a little bit moody, especially when things are in a different place. Well, as soon as TCal saw the play stand was assembled, he leapt onto it and started swinging about like a young child on monkey bars. He was running up and down the ladders, swinging upside down, doing loop-de-loops. And his peoples were just looking at him saying, "Where is TCal and what did you do with him?" TCal is an older bird who sits and naps and chills out quietly. You're acting like you're 30 years younger. And sure enough, TCal's now getting a little bit more exercise just because he's figured out from watching Tico how to play on the play stand. So that's a good case of the flock teaching the flock. Monkey see, monkey do. This is how you can, one flock member can show another flock member how to do things, how to play with things, that things are safe, and teach new activities. So super, super proud of TCal for that. He's really well set up and happy for him. And as usual, he's going to be back and forth as he always is. Cheryl says she's great. We bought Bob's cage from her. Are you talking, Cheryl, are you talking about parrot trends? Or did I miss another comment? Yeah, he's just standing there. He's sort of doing that cool boy look. Yeah, Linda says Smokey doesn't want them to mess with his paws. So they let the vet trim. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, the pin feathers. It's like scratch me, but don't touch me. Yeah, I do try to be really, really careful when trimming things like nails, and Max is pretty good about it. I mean, the first time I ever went after a nail, you would have thought that I was trying to murder the bird. You would have thought that it was the worst thing in the world. How dare you touch my foot? Horror, horror, horror. But, Max has learned that he can trust me with that. So Chris, I'm not quite sure how to parse your comment, but I'm going to read it out loud. Chris says, I get the best jobs through Tango, working right next to the real Hogwarts Express next week, walking, getting lost in an enchanted forest at Warner Brothers. Chris, I think you definitely have the best job ever. Miss Linus, pins are something, it just takes a little bit of time. My trick with them is when I find one, I just sort of pinch to sort of crush them down, and then I just sort of see if they want to flake off. So I don't pull directly. I just sort of use a bit more of sort of a crush feel, as if I'm another bird with a beak. And if a beak and a tongue, that's how another bird would take care of a flock's pins. And I'll just use a finger and a fingernail or a couple of fingernails. And I'm careful if, the instinct, if something pulls away that you're gripping onto, is to hold onto it tighter. If you're preening a bird's feathers and you pinch something that's not ready to come out, if you follow that instinct and hold on tighter, the bird's going to pull away, and you're going to have the feather that's not intended to be yours, and a rather annoyed parrot. But if the bird, if you let go when the bird tries to pull away, everybody's happy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, lots of comments coming in today. Yes. What do you think, Max? You look like you're kind of tired. So one thing I'm still trying to figure out for Parrotpalooza is what the best option for setup is. We are going to have a table there, and it's sort of a bit of a trade show setup. And it would be really good to have a big perch available for Max. But the problem is with big perches and Max is the lack of space in the car. I might see if I can take apart the perch he's on right now to make it easier to transport. And if I can do that, it might make sense to take this one, or I might try and modify another stand, or I might just take a folding chair with me. We all know Max likes to chew on his wicker chairs. But realistically, Max is probably going to want to stand with me the whole time. And that's okay too. So I'm sort of prepped to be standing for the full event and have Max sitting on my arm. That's okay. There'll be lots of people to talk to, so Max is probably not even going to notice the time passing. Don't you think? I know. Well, we want to have a shower before Palooza. Yeah, you started with a shower the other day and then decided, nope, you didn't want one. And with the flock, I always try to respect their wishes. If they don't want a shower, they don't get a shower. You know, I offer. Tico has been really enjoying the mister for a shower. He used to hate getting sprayed for a shower. He would only take a bath in his water bowl. But lately, he's been letting me spray him down with the mister, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it's a different way of delivering water. Yes. You know, if you own parrots, Chris, poop happens. Katie knows it. Oh, you know, the entire flock knows it. Oh yeah, Max is probably going to be a really, really good boy. So one thing we're excited about is we are located directly adjacent to our friend Lori. You've met Lori through the channel a number of times. She stopped by on the patio a number of weeks ago, a bit of a surprise visit. She's going to have a few of her flock members there, and she's going to be talking about fostering and adopting. She does a lot of volunteer work with the local Calgary Humane Society as well as the Calgary Parrot Club. So she'll be talking about some of that, which, you know, this is a common thing that we'll talk about. Right, Max? We'll talk about adopting. We'll talk about going into pet ownership with the eyes wide open. We'll talk about drama. Look at that drama. Oh my goodness. There's a huge crest. Oh, look at all that drama, Max. Woo! Can we chill? Do you realize that everybody's seeing you throw a tantrum? Do you care? That's better. Calm down. That's a better bird. I know, life's terrible. Yeah, but you're okay and you're calm. So if you have a bird, you know that noise happens, mess happens, excitement happens. Yeah. Oh, Max loves listening to music. He listens to a little bit of everything. So I try not to reward his tantrums, but you'll notice that there I matched a little bit of intensity and then I calmed down on my intensity. And what happened is Max decided to follow suit. Sometimes when he gets super excited, I will, we've got an Alexa here, as you know, and she's great to play things for the flock. And I can't play things while I'm streaming because I might get a copyright strike, but I'll grab a song like Baby Shark. And the great thing about that is it builds up an excitement and then it calms down. So if I'm cooking and Max goes off, I'll ask Alexa for that and it'll actually wind Max up a little bit and then calm him down. But it's almost like it sort of catches up to his pace, it brings it up to a bit of a peak and then it brings it right back down. And he just matches the energy that he hears in the song. So that is kind of cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Look at you, Max. You excited? Yeah. But, excitement like that happens. That is part of parrot ownership. And by the way, if you're holding the bird when they get excited like that, be very careful, because the next thing that could easily happen is a bite. I mean, the bird's gotten excited. At that point, really you want to distract. You want to show them that everything is okay. So I'm not quite sure what set Max off on that, but that's okay. He's fine now. But, one thing we talk about a lot when we talk about bird ownership is it's not just about having a pretty bird sitting on a perch. I mean, if you want a pretty bird sitting on a perch, go get yourself a stuffed animal. If you want a pretty bird sitting on a perch, I've got an excellent solution for you. Right here. There's your pretty bird sitting on a perch. He'll sit there, he'll be quiet, he'll behave himself, he'll look super cute. There's no poop, there's no mess to clean up. Perfect pet. That's if you want a pet that's just going to sit on a perch and look pretty. If you're not going to spend time with the pet, if you're going to just put them on a shelf, get yourself a stuffed animal. It was just perfect. That wasn't quite planned, but it is very true. But if you are willing to engage, if you're willing to make a lifelong commitment, if you're willing to put up the noise and the mess and having a 2-year-old around for the rest of your life, because you're really just a 2-year-old, aren't you, buddy? I know. It's tough to be a cockatoo. I see you wobbling. Did anybody hear what Tico started doing when Max got noisy? After that first scream when Max stopped to catch his breath, Tico immediately told him to whisper. And in the background just now, he's been busy telling Max to whisper. Not sure if the camera audio picked that up, but Tico does this lovely stage whisper. And he's always the first to tell people to be quiet if they're being too noisy. Isn't that right, buddy? So you're being very good now, Max. I've got an idea. You hang out for a minute? I know. What have I got? Yeah. That's a nice, tasty, crunchy treat. It's something that's calming. He can crunch away on it. He can meditate with it a little bit. This is not his normal diet. He gets treats when he's on the stream. So earlier this week, I'm going to share this because it was hilarious. Sadly, I didn't catch it on camera. I've said before that Max would be in real trouble in the wild. He wouldn't have a clue how to forage for food. He's easily tricked. Tico, far better chance of surviving, in Africa or something. He's pretty intelligent. Max, he sometimes gets a little bit confused. But Max was getting a little bit annoyed with me because he clearly saw that Tico was eating a walnut. How dare I give Tico a walnut and not Max? He was grumbling at me, and he was watching Tico, and you could see that you have the 2-year-old who's getting a little bit upset because he was missing out. So I told Max, "Hey Max, you've got a walnut too." Max looked at his foot, then looked down on the perch between his legs and looked back at me as if to say, "There's no walnut here." "Max, it's in your food bowl." Max paused and walked over to the food bowl, picked up the walnut, came back and said, "Yeah, see, I knew that." But seriously, I could have tricked Max and not given him a walnut at all. I mean, you know, he didn't think he had one. He thought that there was no such thing. Oh yeah, Max definitely likes to look at his food. Would anybody like me to get Max a walnut right now? Max, would you like me to get you a walnut? Okay, you stay up. You be good. Would you like one? Uh-oh, what have I got? Okay, Max. No nutcracker needed. Now it's all beak and tongue. Okay, look at that. Now, did you notice you dropped a couple bits? Very gentle with that beak. He understands that the beak is not for hurting people with, it's for cracking nuts. But you look at that, you look how easy it was for him to crack into that walnut. Now think about something else. If he were pissed off and wanted to bite you, what would happen? Oh yeah, he has that much force to bring to bear. Yeah, so these are just raw nuts and they're relatively fresh. We don't get them all the time. Nuts have a fairly high fat content, but it's so much fun to crack into that nut. And I mean, when you look at it, you know, there's the remains of the shell. So, you know, he had a lot of fun chewing at that, going through the shell. And if you look at the shell, this particular shell did not crack on the crack line. He crunched through it. That shell was being a little bit stubborn, but it didn't take him long at all. Tico tends with a walnut. Tico loves walnuts as well, but he needs to get his beak started. Max has got the leverage by being able to put his beak all the way around the walnut. Tico's beak is too small. He can hold the walnut, but his beak is so far open he cannot get a good purchase on it. So when Tico's eating walnuts, I pick the one that's got a little bit more of a crack in the shell, just sort of where the two shells meet, and I give him the opportunity to crack into it himself. Used to be with Tico, I had to crack a nut for him. Now Tico's he's old enough and he's learned enough that he knows how to crack into nuts by himself. So I'm just washing my hands here. So even though I have birds, I do have an allergy to nuts and peanuts. So if I handle something, I'm super, super careful about how I handle it. I'm super, super careful about how I wash up afterwards. And there's usually some really tight rules on where the flock is allowed to have things. But that's why sometimes you hear me washing my hands a little bit more frequently when the birds are around. I'm just giving myself a quick scrub because this is the sink I use if I've been handling something like, you know, a bird that's been touching nuts or a nut itself. And that keeps things away from my kitchen sink where I prepare food. So, just bear with me. Yeah, there we go. And Max is no stranger to having his feet washed either. But I'm not going to illustrate that right now because he is hanging out on a perch. Oh yeah, the flock really, really likes nuts. KT around here, it's usually at holidays as well. This bag of walnuts came from TCal. When TCal came over, or when TCal went home, TCal's parents had been in BC and they brought us some wonderful fruit from BC. They brought Tico a couple of plums from BC, and they brought a fresh bag of walnuts, and the flock was just very, very happy about it. Oh yeah, it's been a great morning for Max. It really has. Yeah, but that really gives you an illustration of how strong a parrot beak is. That beak, he just reaches in, grabs that walnut, and he's right into it, right through it. And he's learned some tricks about how to eat a walnut. If you crack it right, you don't drop half the walnut on the ground. And if you do things right, you can nibble the whole walnut. It's quite tasty. But yeah, Max and Tico really, really do enjoy walnuts. Tico right now is complaining because he didn't get one. The flock's probably going to get some when I go out a little bit later on. Tico currently has a pumpkin in his cage. He's making the last pumpkin of the year last. But that is kind of fun too. Yeah, so I just wanted to sort of give the quick recap today then. Reminder to everybody that we are not going to have our regular live stream next Saturday, but we will be back the Saturday after that. So next Saturday, no stream, but we are back the Saturday after that. Next Saturday, we might be doing some pop-up on social media. We'll see how Parrot Palooza goes, but don't count on having any live streaming happening. We'll have some videos that summarize Parrot Palooza after the fact, so you can come there yourself. If you are in Calgary and you want a particular pin or magnet design, you can pre-order and pick it up at Parrot Palooza. That's not a problem. That way we can guarantee you that we don't sell your favorite design. And if you're not in Calgary, we've got the Etsy store with all of the goodies available on it. We have the new pin designs, we have new magnet designs, and we have Birdmas cards, so you can order those. And you can order them to send to somebody else, or if you want, you can say, hey, I want to order one for me. I want Max to send me a card and a gift this year. Surprise me, let him pick out a small gift to put into the card. Here's my budget. This is what I want to do. We'll do custom listings. Absolutely. Yes, Tango, you can ask for a pre-beaked card. Special service from Max. He won't even charge you extra for signing it. But yeah, so there's lots and lots of fun stuff. Yeah. But we are going to have we're going to have our regular stuff happening during the week. Lots and lots of fun. I took a bit of video of Max eating that walnut from a second angle as well. So we'll try and get maybe a little bit more of an in-depth and an in-close look from a second angle on one of the videos this week. And right now, Max looks like he is ready for nap time. One stuffed crop, ready for nap. So flockers, I'm going to wish everybody a wonderful Saturday, and I will talk to you all soon. See you tomorrow if you're on Einstein stream. And thank you again to Tango for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Can you say buck buck, Max? Can you say buck buck? Buck buck buck. And that's a nope. All right, Flokers, have a wonderful week. Thanks, Gloria. Bok bok, everybody.